What up, peeps? It's your girl, Vita. Hey, how you doing? Hold on, I'm gonna close my door, because, like, seriously, you'll hear a bunch of noise. Boom! Okay, so now we're back in business. Okay, hey, how you guys doing? I know it's been a while since I did a video, and the last video I did was a Polly Pocket video, but this one is actually a book haul. What? So, yeah, I picked up a couple of books. I haven't really been buying books because I bought so many books last year that, I've been, like, slowing down on buying books, but we taxed Tom Ballin, woo-hoo! So, me and my husband decided, we had a little date night last night, and our standard date night is to just go to Barnes & Noble with each other and peruse the shelves. And so we picked up a couple of things, and I wanted to talk about what we got, and then it's book fair time at my kids' school, which I always say is the most wonderful time of the year. I love book fair time. I like children's books as much as my kids do, so I actually buy children's books for myself on occasion, and I actually bought one for myself at the book fair today, and so I'm going to talk about some of the books that I got, and so let me just go ahead and get into it. So the books that I picked up, okay, so me and my husband both bought 3 books, and my criteria for the 3 books that I bought was I wanted one book that I'd read before, because usually I used to only buy books that I had actually already read. So I wanted one book that I had read before that I wanted, a book that I haven't read that I do want, and then I wanted a nonfiction because I read a lot of fiction, and I'm kind of wanting to change that and move on to some nonfiction and some weightier topics. So for my nonfiction book, I wanted to do something having to deal with feminism or women's history, which they had such a crummy section with regards to women's studies. I wish they would have had just a section on women's studies, but it was like a couple of shelves. Nothing all that special, but I got Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, PhD. Now, I've never really heard of this book before, but I guess it spent 2 years on the New York Times bestseller list, and I looked it up on Goodreads, and it was over for I don't know what they call it, points, what the hell, rating, whatever. Anyways, the rating was like 4.1, and so I guess it's supposed to be, like one of those kind of like feminine mystique, kind of in that, category of feminist books, and I'm pretty wild, so I figured this one would, appeal to me. So I picked this one up, and I'm looking forward to getting into that whenever I get around to it. I also got, so that was the nonfiction. I got Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. I don't really know a whole lot about this book, but I've heard very good things about it, and I know that it's supposed to be one of those kinds of classic young adult literature type of books. And so, it looks like it's actually kind of a little sad, and, it's a National Book Award finalist, and so I'd heard of it before, don't really know much about it, but, I wanted it, and so I saw it on the table and picked it up and purchased it, and so that's pretty much it. And then this one's actually the most exciting book purchase that I have because, I just cannot say enough good things about how much I love this book, and that's Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I read it last year. I got it from the library and just fell in love with this book. I mean, oh my gosh, and I don't do a lot of YA. I'm not a YA reader. A lot of YA just has way too much teenage angst for me, and I'm like in my 30s, so I'm just like, grow the hell up. But this book was really, really good. And this is an exclusive collector's edition, so it has like some really nice illustrations in the cover, these really pretty illustrations. And oh my gosh, like I just fell in love with this book. I think I read it in like 2 or 3 days, and I just cannot say enough good things about Eleanor and Park. It's excellent. It's a light read, it's quick, but oh my gosh, it was just so good. And I'm definitely looking forward to maybe reading some more Rainbow Rowell because, this book, that book. It was like one of my favorite love stories reading, period. Because I think they were just so quirky and weird, and I'm kind of quirky, and I don't know. It was just a really good book. So I encourage people, even if you're grown or whatever, read that book because it's awesome. And then my husband got The Writing Life by Annie Dillard. He's a writer. He likes to write. So he got a writing book. And he also got, this one is actually, I might even read this one myself, but I don't know, it might be a little too heavy to me. Like I said, my husband likes to read really, really heavy books, and I'm not a heavy book reader. I'll read classics that are heavy, but they're still fiction, but he likes a lot of heavy books. So this one is called Brainwashed, Challenging the Myth of Black Inferiority. So I actually picked this out for him and saw this on the shelf and showed it to him, and he picked this up and wanted to read it. So I may definitely read this. book because that's definitely a subject that I would want to know something about. So, yeah. And then he got a poetry handbook by Mary Oliver, a prose guide to understanding and writing poetry. So I guess from what he told me is this book is written in poem form or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, like I said, he's a writer and he loves poetry. So those are the books that he got. So that's what we got from Barnes & Noble last night. And then these are the books that I got from the book fair for my kids. So I've been wanting for my son to, he's in the 3rd grade, and so I want him to kind of read more about history and not just be reading a bunch of like Wimpy Kid, Captain Underpants, and just all the kind of junky reading, which is nice. I mean, I like fun reads too, but I'd also like him to kind of learn more about history and society and things like that. And they just don't do a lot of that teaching in school like they used to. So, I mean, they've done nothing for Black History Month at all that I'm aware of. And so, they just don't really focus on that anymore. And so, so I've been getting a lot of books, so he can read about some of these, historical figures and these historical things that happened. I have one about the Holocaust that I really want him to read. I got him a book about the Underground Railroad. One about Martin Luther King, and so I got him Who Was Frederick Douglass, because I want him to learn about I really want to raise my kids with like a very strong sense of being Black and knowing about their history, and so I grew up like that, and so I want my kids to grow up like that, but I'm lazy, so we'll see. Anyways, and then I got Who Was Susan B. Anthony. I also got this for my son, okay, because I want my son to be a feminist, so I'm sorry. I want my son to believe that women are equal and to know about the struggle that women have, and so that they can be sensitive to that. And so you're welcome to my son's future wife if he does decide that he wants to marry a woman. Because I will definitely make sure that he gets out of this house knowing that women deserve respect and they are not inferior to men. So I want him to read about feminists and people who fought for the rights of women, people who fought for the rights of African Americans, all these marginalized classes. I mean, I know he's only in 3rd grade, and so there's probably a lot, but hey, you're never too young to learn how to be a socially conscious person. So that's very near and dear to my heart. And then I got this one called How to Get a Girlfriend, which, oh my gosh, is so funny. It's like the cutest little book, and it's won the Kids Are Authors Award. And actually what made me get it was because it made me think about Brie, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like where was this book when I was trying to talk to her and trying to get her to like me, How to Get a Girlfriend. But it's just the cutest book, and it's all illustrated by kids, and so it has all these like kitty illustrations and all these like different like directives on how to get a girlfriend. And these are the authors on the back. It's these 3 little boys. I read it in this thing and like loved it. It was adorable, so I thought it was really cute. And then I got this one called Each Kindness, by Jacqueline Woodson and E.B. Lewis. Sorry, my phone went off. And this one is a nonviolent social change honor Coretta Scott King Award winner. So I actually didn't read it, but when I saw that, and the authors are African American, both of them. And so it made me really want to pick this book up, because I also like to get books that kind of teach my kids about, like, being good people. So, and this is kind of one of those kinds of books, that kind of talks about being a decent human being. So, I definitely picked that up, also. And so those are all the books that I've got. That's my book haul. It's nice to be buying books again, but I probably won't be buying any for a while. Because, like I said, we bought so many books last year that I just don't even have the space for them anymore, but, we'll see. I always say that and then end up going to the thrift store and getting, like, 10 books. But, so that's what I got. I'm excited about my purchases. I'm still reading More Than Two. That's what I'm reading right now, and I haven't really had a lot of time to read, because I've really just been trying to stay on top of my domestic duties in my house and, taking care of the kids and, relationship stuff and just trying to establish the new normal for us. And so that's consumed a lot of time. But I am plugging through it, and I'm glad to get here and just kind of talk to you guys and say, hey, I'm alive. And yeah, I think I'm done. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Kisses. Mwah. Bye.